Okay, folks, here's a trade that is likely setting up on the British pound US dollar. You can see what's happened here. We've got these lows have all been broken down in here, these swing lows, and look at that rejection on the inverted hammer formed on the dollar on the hourly contract, the hourly time frame, and the MACD divergence. See that? Price is going higher, MACD is going lower. Let's check in with the 5-minute chart, see what that's looking like. As you can see, I've used this intermediate high up in this area right here, down to the low of the day, which is now resulting in a 50% retracement level that matches up very, very closely with the central pivot within 2 pips. Okay, 196.34, that's a good place to sell. We have some old lows back there. 36 is the central pivot. I like the area of selling it at 96.34, so we'll want to get that order in. And so we go to our dealing station, British pound entry. We're going to sell a 10 lot. That's £1,000,000 British pounds, 196, and we'll make that 34. And we'll put our stop in here at 196.54. Click OK. Just check your order. We're selling 10 standard lots. That's £1,000,000 pounds. 196.34. Stop at 196.54. 20 pip risk. Quite reasonable. Okay, we'll just go back and have a look here. And so what I like now, watch this area right here, this 38% retracement. I want you to have a look at this. We'll squeeze this up a little bit. Look at these lows back here. These lows were very significant, and it happens to be right at the 38%. So we may miss this trade. That's okay. I want a deeper retracement than this in this case. But we could see it bounce off of there and end up missing a trade. That just happens. So let's not worry about that. I've chosen the higher retracement because there's a much greater confluence of convergence of resistance there with this 50% central pivot and the old lows all back. We have a triple convergence of resistance. I really like that. Okay, lots of reasons to sell up there in the context of a big downtrend starting to happen, maybe on the hourly chart. Okay, let's move ahead a little bit. Now look what's happened here. I want you to watch this. You'll see that we've come from the low, we've rallied up to the high and come back. When this happens, check your extensions. Sometimes they're very, very interesting. We go from the low of the day up to this high. Oh my gosh, look at where the 1618 extension comes to. Right exactly to the central pivot of 196.36. Boy, oh boy, there's another reason to be selling at that area. Another nail in the coffin if it gets there, probably, although we'll have to wait and see. We now have a 50% retracement, a Fibonacci extension, a central pivot point, and old lows. Well, I mean, that's a lot of reasons to expect resistance right there. So you can see we're using lots of the tools that we showed in the course. And again, you do have a bit of confluence at that 38% with a 127 extension, so we could see resistance there. But right now, I really like this area up there if it hits there. And our stop is well placed above the 62%, 20 pips away. I think it's in a good place right there. And we'll just have to sit back now and see where things go. So, yeah, orders in at 96.34. Okay. Now we'll just hang on a sec. Okay. Now look what's happened, guys. We've had a huge spike up in price. Pretty scary, huh? Well, we're filled. Have a look at this. Our order was already in at 96.34. That's why we have it in ahead of time, because it just spiked up there and came straight down. Let's immediately put an order in to take a 10 pip profit. We're going to take we're going to buy back 7 of them for 96.24. That's 10 pips. 70% of our position right there. The order's in. Well, now look at how fast this reacted. This is the beauty of this entry, and that's why you have to have this order in ahead of time. Look at this. We've reacted immediately off of that pivot. We're well into the spread already. Very, very nice. We're trying to take it off at 24. That means we need to see 19 on the bid, because we have a 5 pip spread that we're working with here. And our stop is in place here now. We have actually had a pretty good move down on the market right away. Look, we're down to 21 on the bid right now, so that's going very, very nicely in our favor. Okay, so at this point here, we'll have a look here again. Okay, you can see that we're moving down very solidly here. We just need to see it hit 96.19 on the bid. Now, not a bad idea to move your stop down a little bit here. We've got this thing really going for us. Let's take 5 pips off of it. Put it down to 49. See, we've only got a 15 pip risk in this thing now, and so that's logical. We're getting the thing moving in our favor quite nicely here. I'm not jamming it down to break even. We could still pop back. Oh my gosh, look, we've just popped down to 19, 18. So we're going to be definitely out of our 7 lot. And let's have a look here. So we only have a 3 lot left. We're going to take, first thing we're going to do is put our stop to break even, 96.34, so nothing bad can happen here now. We've made some good money. And let's take 2 more of our lots off for a 20 pip profit. Okay, so that's going to be at 14. Okay, and that's another logical place to take some profits. You see, I'll just, when we get back to the chart, I'll explain some other things to you here about this trade. And so we're going to be looking to buy 2 more lots, 2 more standard lots at 96.14. It's 200K. And there's the order right there, buying 200 at 196.14. Just look at your order and just read it back to yourself and make sure that it makes sense. And okay, when you've got that settled and that's all looking okay, and you're satisfied with that, and you go back and we'll have a look at our chart. Now, the nice thing about this is notice that we're able to get these profits before we even move out of the spread, out of the range that we're in here. Like we've had a low of around 95.90, 95.89, but we can take lots and lots of profit out of this thing before it even gets there. Hey, if this thing goes screaming back up, we're winners anyway. Doesn't matter, right? So very, very nice trade location. As you can see, the accuracy of this, and as you hone your skills in this, you'll be able to pick these things out in real time, just like I'm doing here for you. This is a real live trade happening as we're viewing it. So again, we'll just monitor it and leave it and see what happens. We're going for 96.14. We need to see 96.09 on the bid in order to get our 20 pips. So just a matter of just being patient now and waiting for this to happen. And it will or it won't. We've got our stop in, break even, and we have our profit limits in. Okay. Okay, just checking our orders here. Everything's looking fine. And everything's fine there. Yeah, it's a good idea to check. Make sure everything's just the way that you want it to be. Now, whereabouts could we take our other profit? Let's think about that. How about at the extension? Look at this. How about our final profit? We go for a nice one here. The 1.27 Fibonacci extension is down at 195.65. Look at that. Wouldn't that be a nice profit? That'd be a 64 pip net. You know, at this point, we have that's a good idea because we have nothing to lose on it. We have we're still going to have a lot left. We're going to have 10% of our position left after this, and very, very nice profit to go for. So let's just put the order in at 96. No, let's before we do that, let's just change that 95.70 as the limit. Okay, the 127 fib extension was 95.65, but you have to add the pip spread. Now, don't forget that if you were to get stopped out, you have to go and cancel your open order. Don't forget to do that. You could end up with an open order sitting in the market that could cause you big pain. So you have to pay attention here. This requires you to be on the ball a little bit here, okay? Don't just walk away from your computer and leave these open orders sitting in here because they'll bite you. Okay, so we've got, once we get out at 196, well, there we go. Look at, we just had a drop down to 96.09. That should take care of our open order. There we go. See, we only have a 1 lot left, 100K left. Yeah, because we peeled off the 2 lot the 200K for another 20 pip profit. So far, pretty nice. Very, very nice reaction off of a really strong point of resistance. Let's have a look at what's happened with our position today. Let's go have a look at our closed positions. Check this out. Okay, we got short at 96.34. We covered 7 lots at 24 for a 10 pip profit, and then we covered 2 lots at 14 for a 20 pip profit per lot. So there's $1,100 so far of that day. Very, very quickly. This didn't last long, and now we have a completely free look at it. Pretty nice position to be in. This is, this kind of a situation like this, we can just basically leave it alone. I mean, there's obviously nothing can go wrong. We have a break-even stop. We get to have a free look at the market. And again, here's our closed positions. I was just going to point out $1,100 so far on this, and maybe a lot more to come, because we have this last lot could end up with a $640 profit, which is almost as much as the first 7 lots that we took off. These last lots can make you a lot of money. And this is a discretionary thing. You might want to hold it for a lot longer, lot lower prices than that, maybe to the second extension. With only 1 left, you don't have a lot of options with that, but I think it's really nice to go for these extra ones. Let's have a look at our hourly chart, what it was that set this all up. Okay, remember we had this rejection, inverted hammer, MACD, divergence to the price was going higher, and then we had these lows broken here to the downside. That was these are all clues that things are starting to crumble and head down. And when that happens, we want to go look for logical areas of resistance. Okay, what did we have? 50% retracement, we had a pivot, and so on. And we were watching this area here. This could have been a resistance area, but I elected to go for the higher one just because we had more of a confluence of factors up there. Okay, we had the 50% retracement here. We had a central pivot there. From the high to the low, that was a 50%, and from the big high to the low, it was a 38% retracement to the same place. So we had overlapping fibs, and we had that extension right here. See, up to the high, down to the low. Up to there was a 1618 extension. That's a lot of things all going in your favor. I'll tell you what, there's like 4 or 5 reasons all at one price. See, you're going to have to get some practice doing this and get used to seeing these things in real time, because they're very, very powerful. So just recapping everything, we used a lot of tools that we learned. We used extensions, we used retracements, we used old lows, we used pivots, and all lining up to give us a really, really good high odds trade. So what you need to do is just leave things alone now. We'll see if you can check later and see if we got this extra profit. There's another really nice scalping trade opportunity that was presented to us.